Life is full of beauty and color, cultures and lives that seem to all dance to a different song, but yet somehow intertwined to the same tempo, that beat that we all know. Time passes, change is inevitable, and when we stop or give up, life can pass us by. We can be tossed and turned like the vast waters of the ocean. Alone, darkness can sneak in and cast out all light. Life can be unfair, but like every story, we have learned one thing, that light is greater than darkness. Now you're about to go on a journey to see life. Life through the lens of 4 young men who know these words more than most, who have felt the hurt that life can bring upon us. They have felt hopeless and lost with no end in sight. They have felt the urge to quit, to give up, but then there was hope, the sense that there was more to this life, that their lives have a purpose, as we all do have a purpose in this world. Ever since I can remember, there's been 2 things in my life that I've loved to do, and that's surfing and helping others. When I was 13 years old, I had a rare blood disease. I should have died, but I lived, and it was a miracle. And after that moment, I realized that I didn't want my life to just be focused on myself, but I wanted to give back, and I wanted to make the most of the second chance that had been given to me. And then one day I just realized that my life wasn't what I wanted it to be. So I packed my bags up and I moved to Chile. And I just fell in love again with helping people. And eventually I made my way to Peru, and I was volunteering in a children's home. And at this orphanage is where I met Yeferson. And surfing was the main factor that kept him away from the streets and away from falling back into getting in trouble. As the years went on, and as my wife and I traveled to other countries and worked at other children's homes, I just realized that there was more kids just like Yeferson that have come from really difficult paths, that surf really good, that would be perfect for a trip like this. And have this trip not just be about surfing, but have it be about more, about them learning that they have something to offer other people, that they can give back to people and that they can make an impact. So that's what we're doing with Time Well Spent. We're gonna take 4 different kids that come from all different walks of life with only one thing in common, and that's that their love of surfing has brought them through very difficult paths.
Oh man, it's been my dream since 3rd grade. It's how I couldn't, when I heard I was gonna go on this trip, I was blown away. I literally think I was not gonna go anywhere. Just to leave the island and go and experience what other people are living also. I mean, I might be living the way I am now, but there's other kids who are way out there that are way different. That's gonna be incredible. It's definitely a life-changing experience. I'm super excited about it.
Chance to go overseas to a place I never knew had waves, and yeah, just get good waves, but also helping the local community over there. We have so much stuff that we take for granted, and there they may have so little, but they're so grateful for everything they have.
De viajar, surfear y ayudar gente. Los había visto así como que en videos de surf y eso, pero no pensé que yo podía también participar, ¿no? de uno de estos videos.
Jadi saya selalu berdoa untuk ini, dan sekarang pun doa saya terkabul. Jadi saya bisa keluar negeri. Saya sangat senang untuk bisa pergi ke luar negeri, untuk ke Panama.
wandering through the maze that lives inside of my mind. And inside of this mind lies an engine that works on overdrive.
Oh man, the flight was insane. It was like the longest flight I ever had. Cramped wide, friggin', it was amazing. No, I couldn't believe I was actually sitting on the plane coming here. Man, but once we got here and finally settled down and got everything together, it was fine, it was awesome. Glad to finally experience something besides home. I'm pretty excited to be here.
Primera vez que salgo de Perú, fue emocionante. De Perú a México y de México a Panamá. De ahí 10 horas en bus para llegar a Boca de Toro. Después un bote para llegar a Isla Bastimento. Y llegamos a Bubba House. Beautiful Bubba House.
It's so sick. It's sick because there's AC in the rooms because it's like 1,000,000 degrees in Panama.
Life is made of unknowns, full of excitement and new adventures. But life is also full of heavy blows that can change our perspective. Things that make the best of us lose hope and give up. But how we react in these certain situations speaks loudly of who we are. Do we lose hope or do we push on and write our own story? We have some bad news with Henry. We've been applying for a visa for Henry to travel to Panama with us for the documentary. And we've been waiting to get his visa to book his ticket. But Henry's visa was denied, sadly. And with a heavy heart, he won't be traveling with the rest of the 3 kids down to Panama. And I know that this is a really tough thing for him, and a tough thing for all of us not to be able to take him and to be able to promise this trip and not be able to fulfill it has just been a really hard thing for all of us.
And last minute, a week before the trip, they denied his visa, which was a heartbreaker for Henry. It was a big shock for him. None of us were prepared, for him to get his visa denied. So it was a big surprise for all of us. But, all things work out in the end.
I already prepared my stuff, and then I'm already like, I'm very excited for that one. And then my visa was denied with the government, and then it's make me like, disappointed. Like, I'm very sad, and then I'm really angry. And then after that, I went to my room, and then I'm crying, like I'm still wanna meet the other boys, like Yeferson, Kross, and Declan.
Hey boys, you ready? Get up, young surfing. Declan, you ready? You ready?
Morning, man.
What's up?
Bien,
What?
papá, eso. Había una cosita que después aquí.
Itchy. Hola, grande.
¿Sí?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Are you tired? Are you thirsty? Come along and see. Bring your penniless bag.
I was very surprised. Wasn't expecting breaking a board in the second day here. But you know, I can't complain, it was fun. Like, got some mental barrels here, some spitters, some crazy, like just miles and miles of beach I did not expect. I'm so stoked, yeah. Okay, when I snapped my board, well, before I snapped my board, I was going in and I was gonna be done, you know, I was gonna wait. But Elliot told me catch one more, and you know, I decided to catch one more. And that one more did some damage to me. Damage to my board. Can't believe it. But you know, it's all about the fun that you have out there anyway. You know, I didn't really mind. I was actually stoked. That's like what I wanted to. I didn't want to have a broken board, but having a broken board is pretty sick. You know, like, can't complain. It's pretty awesome. All the way around.
Just coming here, like having surfed twice at the bluff, I can't wait to see what's coming. Like, such sick waves. Like, I got some of my funnest waves I've ever gotten today, and it was, yeah, I can't wait to see what happens. When I heard that Henry wasn't able to get his visa, I was like shattered. Like, I couldn't imagine going through that, like having this taken away. But oh, I don't know what to say. I'd love to travel to Indo for, yeah, just go over there, be able to meet him sometime, be awesome. Just, yeah, get to know him.
Waktu kecil saya terlahir sebagai orang Islam. Saya bisa berdiri seperti ini karena saya berpegang pada Tuhan Yesus. Nama saya Henry David Makalveni, umur saya 17 tahun, saya besar di Bali, saya besar di yayasan atau bisa dibilang di panti asuhan. Jadi saya tumbuh di yayasan atau di panti asuhan, itu seperti keluarga besar buat saya. Jadi saya bisa tinggal di yayasan ini itu karena bibi atau tante saya membawa saya ke yayasan ini. Dia bilang, ayo ikut jalan-jalan, kita ke mall belanja sesuatu. Saya bilang, kenapa jauh sekali mallnya? Ternyata saya dibawa ke yayasan. Waktu kecil saya tidak tahu ya apa itu yayasan atau panti asuhan. Jadi saya bilang hanya oke, saya mau tinggal di sini dan untuk sementara. Jadi saya dari umur 5 tahun sampai sekarang umur 17 tahun saya tinggal di yayasan, di panti asuhan.
My name is Agustina Padatu. I'm the founder of the Children Home Permata Bali. The first time I come to Bali, I saw the kids on the street, and I have a question: why the children not going to school? They're supposed to be in school, but now they're on the street. So I want to know them, and I start to build relationship with them. And then I found the answer of my question. They come from the family who really poor, and the family cannot send them to school because they lack of job and lack of education. And Henry was one the little boy who's really difficult life. His mother was really stressful. She was from Malaysia and her husband is from Lombok. And the guy just left them in Bali. They bring them from Lombok to Bali. They thought they want to come looking for a job. But suddenly just leave the mother with the little boy who's 6 years old. without passport, without identity. Maybe she's so stressed and then she wants to kill herself, but she said, okay, if I just kill myself, how is my son? So she tried to kill him, and it's quite hard. God really have a great plan for Henry's life, so that's why God bring him to me.
Saya mulai belajar atau bermain surfing waktu umur 6 tahun. Perasaan saya waktu di surfing atau di laut itu seperti membuat saya rileks, melupakan semua masalah. Jadi waktu ketika saya main surfing itu membuat saya fun dan selalu senang. Ya, jadi cita-cita saya adalah saya mau menjadi orang pembisnis atau orang sukses, selalu bisa membuat suatu pekerjaan sendiri.
Sebelum tidur harus ngapain?
Sikat gigi.
Sikat gigi. Kalau cara bagaimana sikat gigi?
Tahu.
Nah.
Gotta get all of them. Come on.
Karena suatu kehidupan itu dimanapun kita berada, selagi kita mau berusaha atau meraih suatu cita-cita kita bisa sukses. Jadi nggak harus untuk selalu gampang menyerah.
Sometimes when doors close in our face, just around the corner, there's a new one, open and waiting for us to go through. And even though the other boys would have to leave for Panama without Henry, he was still determined to have his own adventure, to write his own story.
Probably thought he was Filipino again.
Since we had raised the money for Henry anyway, for him to go to Panama, we decided to take him on his own trip. So right now we're in the Philippines.
Right now, I'm in like small island at Siargao Island. Just traveling it's like good, but I got like jet lag. Very tired.
Henry!
Hey!
You ready?
Yeah.
Sampai lihat.
Meeting the other boys has been so sick. Like, Kross just seems like such a frothel. When he sees the waves, like, he goes crazy. Then I want to talk to Yeferson so bad, but he doesn't speak English very well. He speaks Spanish. But then, like, as soon as we get to the waves, it's like we're on the same thing. Like, even if we're just doing like hand actions or something, and we're just like frothing, so keen to get in the water, all on the same boat.
Johnson music, I like. Ready?
I'm really excited to get to know both their stories, like what's behind them, where they've come from.
I talked to Declan about his story. His story definitely impacted me pretty hard. Definitely made me realize like your loved ones can just go pretty fast. Sorry, getting emotional. You're just... I couldn't do it. There's no way. Your dad not being there, and like it's your best friend. You know, it's pretty hard. Yeah, definitely. His story definitely impacted me pretty hard.
Oh, I started standing up on my boogie board. Always like absolutely loved it. And then my dad ended up getting me a soft top board, and I started surfing that. And then eventually he got me my first hard board, which was some 5'4" Fipsy yellow board with 2 red stripes down it. I thought it was the best thing ever. And then yeah, he always used to take me down the beach. We used to go to rafts and sometimes 13th, and then in the middle of winter after a surf we'd get in the ute and crank the heaters, and he'd always have like these mints in the front seat. That were the best thing ever, I thought at the time. We always used to do that. And then yeah, I always surfed with my dad. Like, yeah, it was everything. My name is Declan Bradley. I'm 16 and I live in Ocean Grove, Victoria, Australia. In 2008, my dad passed away due to, he got depression or something and didn't make the best choice out of it. Didn't seek help. And then after that, it was pretty hard. Stopped surfing. It was just too hard. Like, we had too much stuff going on. Like, for Mum, she was pretty much broken from it, and if she just stayed at home, we could have been in a really bad place. But she got herself work part-time and worked her way up to full-time work, which has been huge. And how much work she does. We've always had everything we've ever needed.
Seven years ago, on November 4th, Declan and Sean, my 2 boys, lost their dad, who I'd been with since I was 19. We'd been together 20 years, and Declan was probably joined at the hip with his dad. They always surfed together. So we didn't realise that Dad wasn't really well. He obviously was depressed and did take his own life. I've always been honest with Declan and Sean about what happened, even though some people said it might be better say he was in an accident and so forth. I thought if I lie to them, who on earth can they trust? So they've always known, and they've always still been able to talk about their dad, and it's been very, very hard on the boys, of course. I think they've felt like they're the only ones in the world a lot of the time that have this. For Declan especially, being very, he's a deep thinker, He's had his moments of real frustration where I think he hasn't been able to process, especially as he's gotten older, what happened. And surfing's been the one thing that's lightened the load for him, I think. They're incredible boys, and I think they've got to strengthen themselves. Declan has always been a big thinker. His dad would be very proud of him, I know that, in every way. You can always deal with it for yourself, but when it's your kids, do anything to take it away. Especially good kids that don't deserve it, but that's life, isn't it? The last 2 years, I thought I've got to start getting out there again and being a part of things, and for them that's been good too, I think, to know that you need community, you need family, you need to be in touch. 7 years isn't a long time, and 7 years is forever.
Since that happened, I always kept it to myself, my dad passing, just because I've always been worried that people would treat you differently or feel sorry in a way, just, I don't know. And I just always wanted just to be treated like everyone else. It helps to open up about stuff, even, you don't need to tell even just one person. Just, it's good to say it. Because you get to, instead of always thinking about it, you can get it out, and then, because I always kept it to myself and dwelled on it, and it just makes it really, really hard. But it does get better eventually. I think around high school time, I started working my way up to the beach, just back on my own, on my own. So that whenever Mum got a chance after work, she'd be able to take me down the beach for a surf. Yeah, I've just loved it. Just got back into it, and just, it's huge for me now. It's just, the best thing. I love surfing. Just being out in the water is just a great thing. You just feel really good. Just nothing to worry about, just like the atmosphere, what's around you, like the people, like just everything, I guess. I reckon surfing slabs are pretty fun, just because, I don't know, if you make the first bit, you just get like, I know you can just get engulfed by it, or you can just get crunched on the takeoff. It's pretty funny half the time. A lot of the time you don't make it, but I really just want to make the most of things after what's happened, because I really don't like when I look back on something and say I could have done that, where I'd rather do something and say there's nothing I would have done differently.
Water, something most of us can take for granted. But in reality, 783 million people around the world do not have access to this basic necessity of life. What if I told you that 1 in 9 people worldwide do not have access to water that is safe and clean to drink? The boys may not be able to change these statistics in one day, but for now, in this place, and for these people, they could.
Vamos a llevar unos filtros para una gente para que tenga agua limpia.
Every water like this, it filters every bacteria.
Pero él lava su vaso con agua limpia.
Give water filtration systems to this village, which were actually, as we got here, were asking for something to do with the water because all the kids have been getting really sick from the water. And as we turned up, you could see it, like they're like teary, like they had fresh water, now they weren't going to get sick. Big difference in their lives.
For a few families on a very tiny island in the Caribbean Sea, life had been changed. They had tasted clean water in their homes for the first time. And boys who once felt helpless were now able to help others in a way they might never understand. The smallest of things can bring hope back into our lives. But that wasn't the only place in the world that hope was spreading.
We're doing to the water filter for the people from here.
Morning. Thank you for having us. It's really special for us. And here's what we use to make the hole. It's very important if you change the filter to a new bucket that you use this piece. Doing these kind of programs, distributing and setting up clean water programs, you never know what to expect when you walk into the village. So when me and Henry and the team went up to the village here, we met up with an organization in that area called Hope for an Island. And we met up with them. They're just awesome people, all local Filipinos wanting to serve their own people, which is amazing. So we met up with them and they took us to, I want to say like 7 to 10 different villages. It was hard to keep up. And in each village, we did a presentation. And to see the real need and hear them tell the people from Hope for Island how thankful and grateful they are to have these clean water systems was amazing. Because each village, usually a woman would come up and say, man, we're just so thankful that you came because, my kids really need this clean water. Like, we can't afford to buy it anymore. They're getting sick sometimes. So they're just really, really thankful. It was exciting.
I know what I feel like have like the dirty water, and then to give the clean water to another people, it's special to me. To help another people from out of my country, it's the best my trip, a whole my life.
After a long day spent in many different villages, it was time for a long drive back. Because tomorrow promises new surf and a new adventure.
Primero, cuando llegué, dormíamos en los juegos que había del parque Mancocapa. Me llamo Yeferson, tengo 23 años, vivo en San Bartolo, en Generación. Bueno, yo llegué en Generación cuando tenía más o menos 11 años. Salí de mi casa por problemas psicológicos, maltrato físico, en parte de mi padre, y me vine a Lima buscando a mi mamá, pero no sabía dónde vivía, solo sabía que estaba acá. Y me vine y justo terminé en el parque Mancocapa, donde había muchos chicos de la calle también, que ya tenían tiempo viviendo y yo viví con ellos.
Soy directora de Generación, que es una organización que trabaja por la defensa de los derechos de los niños, especialmente de los niños que viven en la calle. En el caso de Jeffrey, era un chiquito muy sano, y acá había muchos chicos, y muchos de los chicos grandes que ayudaban en la casa, habían tenido una vida muy difícil. Entonces ellos tenían muchas cicatrices en las caras, ¿no? Muchos cortes. Entonces Jeffrey se asustó, se trepó la reja y se fue corriendo a la esquina, se puso a llorar, ¿no? Porque quería irse y no quería irse. Y yo vine y le dije, mira, mañana vamos a hacer un paseo con todos tus amigos, los voy a llevar a una playa bien bonita que se llama San Bartol. Y Al día siguiente nos fuimos de paseo. Creo que ese fue un día fundamental en la vida de Yeferson porque mi hija que corre olas, ¿no? Por primera vez les enseñó a correr y a Jeffrey le encantó.
Some say there's hope in the stones, that they feel it rise in their bones. Some say
Yo aprendí a correr como a los 12 o 13 años porque veía que la gente surfeaba, entonces yo quise aprender también. Me acuerdo un amigo del hijo de Lucy y él también surfeaba con nosotros y él me dejó su tabla, me acuerdo, y yo surfeaba todos los días con su tabla. Me acuerdo que al principio los vecinos no queríamos porque decían que los chicos de generación en la casa de Magdalena robaban y todo eso, entonces ellos pensaban que nosotros hacíamos eso. Pero nosotros comenzamos a surfear mejor, comenzamos a competir y representábamos a San Bartolo en cada campeonato y entonces ahí fue como que la gente comenzó a cambiar en la manera que nos veía, ¿no? Antes no quería que nos juntemos con sus hijos, los vecinos, así, pero ya después normal. Y con el tiempo aprendí que cada vez que me entro a correr, me olvido de todo, solo quiero surfear bien, estoy con todos mis amigos en el agua, no hay problema, te olvidas de todo, solo eres tú y el mar y las olas y ya está, y vivir el rato, ¿no? En ese momento.
Yeah, when I heard Jefferson's story, when he told me his whole story, and I saw how amazing he surfed, and I saw how good of a person he was, and how well he turned out, and even the fact that he was going to study architecture at the university, I was kind of blown away. His stories and some other kids at the orphanage, their stories were the main reason that I got into filmmaking. I heard his story and I wanted to tell it to the world.
Yo pienso que así como yo, que ha podido, o sea, de una manera salir adelante gracias a la ayuda de Lucy, ¿no? La educación y todo puede seguir. Hay varios chicos que pueden cambiar, ¿no? No solo yo, solamente es darle la oportunidad de que ellos puedan cambiar y ellos saben aprovechar, solo que hay que tener un poco de paciencia nada más.
Nothing will get in the way of surfers and the endless search for waves. While others are sleeping, they are studying swell directions, winds, and tides, all for that moment it all comes together.
we get in the taxi back with on the way back from the Bluff Beach, and a truck was stuck. So yeah, we were trying to get it out. We couldn't get it out, and then a ute pulls up with and these guys get out of the car and we start pushing it, and we had no idea. And one of them looked really familiar.
Y nos comienza a ayudar y James dice, Tash Barro. Y yo, ¿qué? Tash Barro, ¿qué? Y yo volteo y los miro y digo, oh my God, Tash Barro, no, Tash Barro.
Pushing the truck out with Taj Burrow and Dion Angus. It was crazy. I could not believe it. Like, ah.
If I see someone down and I don't know who they are, I want to go to them and just, like, I gotta make you smile at least just to see you smile. It can change a person's, like, whole day. My name is Kross Story. I'm from the Big Island of Hawaii, and I'm 17 years old. I was born and raised in Colorado Springs, and I moved here when I was 8 years old. I was about 3 years old when we were going back and forth from Colorado to California for about 3 years, and we lived in a van for like 3 years. And the last couple of years also living here, we were also homeless for a while. We never had a home. We never had a working vehicle. We lived in it's like a big, gigantic storage unit, and we were living there for a couple of years. And I was pretty ashamed of it. I never really told nobody. I was kind of underground, and I'd tell people to drop me off at like places that they known. So I would just walk home. I was very like scared to like let other people know where I lived, you know, like I told my closest friends, but like people who like I knew for a long time and stuff that were always like really there for me and like always supporting me and stuff, I hid it from them, which I should have never, because they could have helped me out and like I could have stayed with him. Which now, when I did do that, I actually moved with my friend Brianne, and her mom took me in, Auntie Lisa, and she got me in my own room with them and everything, so that was pretty stoked. I was super happy for that. Like, I never had my own room before neither, so when she told me I was gonna have my own room, I was psyched. I was like, what, dude, I was excited. Definitely being homeless is definitely difficult when your parents are like trying to do the best that they can, you know, to feed us and like also get them to do what they need to do. You know, like without that too, like without all the life experiences I've been like watching and going through, I wouldn't probably know what to do. Like I probably wouldn't be the person who I am now.
He was my first, you know, and he's, I don't know, he's just always right there. You know, every time I turn around or ready to go to bed or something, or first thing in the morning, he sends me a text. Dad, I love you. Have a great day. You know, or just before bed. Good night, Dad. Just want to tell you I love you. It's really nice. I love it. It makes my day every day to have a kid that loves me that much, you know. What he's seen and what we had to go through, you know, and just turn out the way he did, and so caring and loving, and I don't want him to live the kind of life I had to live, you know. So I just hope he just does something good with himself and he's happy.
My dream, like when my dad put me on the surfboard, instantly my dream was just being a professional surfer. It was my dad's goal when he was my age. He never got to accomplish it. And I told him like, I'm gonna do that, not just for him, but also for myself. I love surfing, the feel of it is just amazing. I just love the ocean, the water feels amazing. Just like when you're stressed out or anything, the ocean is something that you can go to and just put your whole body under, and you can just feel all the negativity just sweep off your body. It feels so good. That's what my source is when I'm stressed out, is going straight to the ocean. You can feel every bit of it, just cleanse the soul.
How do you think you'll cope building a house for a poor family, or building a, you know?
We're gonna be building that. We're gonna be building a home for them. That's gonna be sick. What? Wow, that's gonna be pretty exciting. Well, that like kind of like brings it back to like how I was raised. Like, you know, like if like I never had a home, you know, if they didn't have one, I'm just like, oh, I don't even know what to say to that. That's something sick. I'm gonna be like putting a home on somebody. Like, that's sick. I'm gonna be putting a roof over somebody's head. It's gonna be the best experience ever, just to see like, oh my goodness, I don't have to worry about like hiding under the rain. I can just go under my house and sleep. Don't have to worry about it. That's gonna be super sick. I'm super excited on that. Oh, what?
As for a trip of a lifetime, the boys were on their way. They had begun to see each other as brothers and shared some of the best ways of their lives together. But what unfolds in the next few days is something even greater than they all expected. Something that would forever mark their hearts and change the way they live their lives forever.
Wandering through the maze that lives inside of my mind, and inside of this mind lies an engine that works on overdrive. Time is only borrowed, no promise for tomorrow.
Scenery, driving through all the mountains was amazing. Couldn't expect that. It was so beautiful. I was super stoked being here with Homes of Hope. Can't wait to start building the homes for them and make a difference and get them seeing the big smiles on their faces with the roof over their heads. They don't have to worry anymore. Super excited.
That was Yeferson sticking his finger in your ear.
Oh, that was Yeferson, huh? You sticking my finger in my ear? It's alright, I got you with the water in the mouth when you were sleeping.
Oh, accommodation this time we're sleeping in tents, I'm pretty sure. It'll be nice and hot and sweaty. Woo.
Everyone's just like,
car to fully swerve, and he was flashing the other car. Maybe someone
They use wood for beds and bamboo for beds. Floor, dirt, ground. Stoked that we're building a home for them, that's for sure.
Crew, there's only 2 on the cut crew, but maybe.
I want to thank you for the crew for giving me this opportunity to actually build a home for someone. Like growing up, not having a house and couch sitting, being homeless.
Dice que él le da la gracia al equipo que le ha permitido venir aquí a construir la casa para ustedes porque él no poder tener él una casa o un lugar donde poder dormir él.
It's an amazing opportunity to put shelter over somebody that doesn't have a lot
una
either.
Oportunidad tan grande poder poner un refugio a otra familia.
So I hope that God will take it in his hands and bless the house and you guys for
Que Dios bendiga
having an amazing house that the whole crew has built. I don't know how to talk really, I'm just...
Él está muy bendecido de poder dar esto a ustedes, que hemos venido todos acá para darles a ustedes algo que nosotros también podríamos servir de bendición para ustedes. Y que él quiere darle la llave al señor Martín. ¿Sí?
So, just wanna give you the keys to your amazing, blessed home.
Makana
this trip's opened me up for sure. Like, I can't really explain words. Words can't explain this trip. Like, dude, it's heavy. So heavy. Surfing is surfing, you know? Like, I do that all the time. But like, seeing how people live here, like, it's hard. You know, seeing it, how easy we have it. It's hard. So just thankful for this opportunity to see life.
Kross learned something that we all long to learn. His worth. That he is not just a homeless boy from Hawaii, but someone who can make a difference, someone who can bring hope, and someone who can love with all his heart. And after a long and emotional day, it was time to get back to Bocas del Toro, where the new rising swell was seeming even more promising. And as life often has heartfelt moments that can change the way we live, it is equally full of fun moments we can cherish forever. It, my friends, is time to ride.
Ahora vamos a montar los caballos.
Adiós que ha sido mi única esperanza. Pues no se escucha, pues no está matando. Pues no se libre de cualquier quebranto. No doy su mano y poderosa fuerte para librarnos de la misma muerte.
Now that is how you open a bag of canned beans.
To truly understand who someone is and why they act certain ways, you need to know where they came from, what has happened to them in the past, and from what lens they view this world. And as the boys shared their past at that table on that brisk night on an island in Panama, the walls they had built up from their years of pain finally began to come down. You see, when you trust someone, you can be vulnerable. And when you can be vulnerable, you can be honest. One thing for sure is that this was a night the boys would never forget. A night they understood that their pasts do not define their futures. The night where they had the hope to believe that to be true.
Seeing the way that these people live, like in the poorer villages, like I had an idea, but you don't know how much of a struggle it can be for them till you actually hear. Be given a better perspective on things you can take for granted so easily.
This opportunity, definitely wants to make me do this more. I love doing this. I love helping people. This trip has just opened me up. Just can't wait to go and tell everybody at home.
Before, I don't care with the people. I just want to get away from here. And now, the wave is not important to me. The important is help the people get clean water.
As time begins to come to an end, the boys realize that soon they must return home. But to be true to this story, the boys wanted to go on one last adventure before their goodbyes.
She says to rest your head. She says to make this boat your bed. The little girl, she cries into the night. She starts to sing a song, and the sirens, they sing along as waves crash over their heads. He says they're safe now. He says that they will be okay. He says don't fear, Mom and Dad are here.
Is it worth the pain you feel when you say goodbye? To truly open up and be yourself. To experience true life with others. If life is not about relationships and taking chances, then what else are we living for? These boys now face the true reality. That even though they had the trip of a lifetime, they must return back home. The reality of their struggles before they left still awaited them. But one thing had changed. Their perspective. The way they now view this beautiful world. That they are no longer the identity that their past made them to believe. But they are worth much more.
De nuevo, que te coman las cucarachas.
I'm gonna go machete some coconut trees now.
Oh, he got it.
Unreal. Whoa.
No, my God. It's crazy, ¿no?
1, 2, 3.
Love you guys.
I love you too, man.
Fully strong. Yeah, I fully don't know how you guys have done what you've done.
Oh, sweet. How are you, Henry?
I'm good, and you?
Yeah, not bad. How's the trip been?
Yeah, the trip is really good. Do you miss me?
No, I want to meet you.
No.
Definitely. I want to try come to Indo this year.
Oh, good.
After school.
Character is not based on what life chooses to deal us. Character is standing up in the times when everyone else expects you to give up. Write your own story. Build your own house for someone else. Make this world a better place. Because I tell you this, we need you.
Recuerda mi voz en tu corazón. Escribe